Hello, hello. Hi, everyone. I'm reading your comments and it's making me teary-eyed. I was just reading what the chat would show me as you all have been here. Goddessella, I'm so grateful that you're here tonight with us. And you know what? It's so interesting how we can feel so alone, but we're all having such a collective experience because Goddessella, I was doing the same thing this week, which is why you haven't seen much of me. There was so much somatic release happening, and I've just been tired. I've been sleeping a lot, but it's part of it. It's part of the process. Of completely letting go. I feel free today, though. Still a little tired, but I feel free. Sai, hello. James T, hello. Scream Stress. Stevie Nicks, hello. Scorpio Zen, hi. Hey, Jimmy Graybeard. Hi, Alley Cat. Who else we got in here this evening? I know I saw another name. PJ Poison, hi. Hi, Melanie. Hi, Arctum. It's good to see you all this evening. Hi, Rose. Hi, Olga. Hi, Jennifer. Hey, Dee. Hi, Cristobal. Hello. Hello, Annie Sally. Hi, Alicia. If I did not welcome you in, hi, Jennifer D. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. It's good to see you all this evening. I didn't record again today, and I wasn't going to get on, but the band prompted me to get on. They said there was something particular that needed to come out this evening. So let's see what that's about. Hey, thanks, Scream Stress, man. Kerouac. The first Kerouac book I read, I think I was like 11 or 12 years old. And man, I fell in love. He's always been one of my favorite authors. I spent a lot of years as a writer. I used to write for a lot of motorcycle magazines. And I've had 2 books published from Motor Books Press, which is, unfortunately, they don't exist anymore. But my pen name that I used was Angelina Desolate. It's like backwards for Desolate Angel, because that's what they called Kerouac. I just love Kerouac so much. I think he's probably the reason why I love this city I'm in so much too. All right, everybody got their ghost tube on. I got a little bit of jazz going on my phone because I'm curious. I've never had this app on with music before. Have you all? Scream's just your writer too. I love that. I feel like I put it down for a lot of years. I don't know, because I mean it was my job for a long time. And I used to work in publishing, but I started writing again this year, and I fell in love with it all over again. I mean, I would like journal and stuff like that, you know, but like not like producing anything, like articles or books. But yeah, I'm curious what this app is going to do with a little bit of music in the background. Let me know if that for some reason is too loud. I don't want it to be distracting. Writing's a good escape, Melanie. Yeah, I'm working on some fiction right now, actually, and it's a fun escape. Well, Jimmy, writing code is an art form. Okay. I have some people that I know that are badass coders, and although I do not understand a damn thing about it, the way that they talk about it and their passion for it and their like I can understand their thought pattern with the strategy of it. It's an art form. It's an art form. It's cool. It's cool. No, I don't understand it. It's an art form of its own. I love the name. Love the name. I am glad you are embracing it. I love it. It's beautiful. All right. They told me to break out the Alice deck. So let's see what's up. If you've come in and I have not seen your name, welcome in. Welcome in. Happy you're here. Good, Melanie. You have a lot of wisdom. You should write your life story. That's cool. Mine's got to be a series. I've had 9 lives already in this body. Oh, cool. I'm glad you're able to find those comments. They're showing me an old pharmacy. This is all about time. Somebody feeling a lot of time pressure in their life right now? Or is somebody's self-talk really sucking? This is all about setting course in the right direction. Time pressure. Feeling the need to keep up. And self-talk. Yeah? Okay. We're going to run with this then. Oh. Okay. Okay. All right, we got synchronicities 28, 40, 22, and 14. All right, let's talk. This is giving me anxiety. Who's got anxiety here? Who feels like they're rushing against a clock? Jeez. Looking at these cards is just making me feel anxious. Tell me about this clock time. Who's feeling the pressure of clock time in their life right now? Tell me what we need to know here. Ace of Pentacles, 8 of Swords, the Star in reverse. Spirit, your spirit guides, Loa, God, whatever you choose to call it, is trying to hand you an ace right here, this Ace of Pentacles, okay? But you're not seeing it. So you're believing that your star is in reverse, okay? And you're up in your head here with this 8 of Swords. There is not a hierarchy when it comes to relationships with spirit, with your band, with whatever you choose, whatever word you use. Language is subjective. There's no hierarchy, and it's actually the greatest relationship of equal give and take we will probably experience in human bodies, because a lot of humans don't know how to do that, especially in westernized culture, because we don't have a clear understanding of the word sacrifice. The Latin root of sacrifice is sacred, to make. To sacrifice means to make sacred. It's not, sacrifice is not a loss, the way that we view it in Western culture. It's not a giving up, because then that creates like a hierarchy in sacrifice. The idea of sacrifice as Western culture looks at it, creates a hierarchy, okay? But with spirit, with your band, the Holy Spirit, whoever you're working with, there is a sacrifice that needs to be made for equal give and take, because it's a sacred space. It's a sacred relationship. The mundane is made sacred in this equal give and take relationship. And most of the time it's the mundane that makes us feel this time pressure. So in that time pressure, that sacred, not sacrifice, to make it sacred, because this Ace of Pentacles that is being handed to you is sacred. What's going on in the equal give and take to make that a sacred exchange? And what does that look like? It depends on, that's you. That's your inner knowing, what that looks like. Is it gratitude to nature spirits? Is it writing that gratitude down? Is it having an altar and knowing what the Loha likes? Is it giving up prayers to spirit to slow the mind down? Because we're on the same, there's no hierarchy there, right? We're on the same frequency, okay? And so it feels like right now that your band, yeah, they're telling me is like, you're not, some of us are not seeing the help at the moment, okay? So we're taking the time to create that sacred space. In the mind, we'll see that Ace of Pentacles instead of that Eight of Swords. Feeling time pressure, feeling clock pressure will create an Ace of Swords, right? Self-imposed mental prison. Do you know where you wish to go right now? Be very clear with spirit of what you need and where you need to go. And then what are they asking of you in exchange? Because it's sacred. It's a sacred contract. Nine of Wands in reverse. Tired of feeling tired here. Eight of Wands in reverse. Yeah. Some of us here, this was me last week, actually. This week I've just been sleeping all week, I swear. But there's such a feeling of time pressure going on in some of you all's lives that it's like you're not even stopping to breathe right now, okay? I'm looking at the Five of Cups, the Knight of Wands in reverse, the Nine of Wands in reverse, and the Eight of Wands in reverse, okay? So your band's asking you to communicate with them. Whatever is sacred to them, which is in the mundane, which is in the earth, what they're going to ask for is so minimal. It's not even a sacrifice. What is 15 minutes? What's some fruit? Or you know what I mean? Or like morning ritual, whatever that looks like for you, okay? Because you're tired. What's this 5? Why is this 5 of cups here? Ah, yeah, they have some secrets they want to reveal to you is what this is. Okay. Can you tell us more about these secrets? Tell us more about these secrets. The Tower in reverse and the Queen of Pentacles. Equal give and take relationships create stability and groundedness in our energy, right? That includes in our communication with the spirit realm also. Okay, so they want to put you in the Queen of Pentacles. This Tower is in reverse. There's no need for a tower right now. There's no need for the chasing of this time. Okay, it's yeah. So the energy we've kind of been trailing the past couple weeks is like, it's like the World card, right? But it's like many of us are past like a dark or a long death experience, dark night of the soul, right? And it's on to the beginning now. Okay, it's on to the beginning. So there's secrets in that to be revealed, because the nervous system needs to catch up. Might still feel like you're going through some towers, but you're not. Maybe you'll get lucky, and like me, they're going to tell you to rest, because that's what I did this week. I rested. So all that somatic integration and stuff could happen. So it can be stronger in the beginning. Hi, Death Siren. Welcome in. Glad you're here. All right. So you feel like you're keeping up. You feel like you're having to put in immense effort. Tell me more about this. So that flipped over. 2 of Swords in reverse. Oh, I hate that feeling. The Devil card. Man. Oh, I feel that so strong. I'm a human that would rather make a wrong decision than be in a space of indecision. No decision's still a decision. But no decision, I know, makes me anxious. And that's what's going on here. Someone's sitting in indecision. You have the Devil in the upright and the Sun in reverse and the 2 of Swords in reverse. Up in your head. Big time here. Big time, big time, big time. This is representing those racing thoughts. Okay, those racing, obsessive thoughts. There are many ways to click this over. Okay. The band obviously wants to talk about, you just remembering to make part of your routine, whatever you do, what you do. As you know, I like to say the voodoo that you do for spirit, right? To be in alignment with your band. Because they can get stuff done that we can't, vice versa. But there's many ways to flip this switch, okay? To get out of these obsessive thoughts. The one that's the most counterintuitive is play. Which also feels counterintuitive if like you feel like you're racing against a clock, right? And you only have so much time to make a decision, so much time to move, so much time to make a deadline. But the energetic upgrade we get from switching out of those obsessive thoughts and directing our energy somewhere else momentarily, like for a very short amount of time. And that looks different for everyone. And for many years, I didn't know what that was for me. So if you're not sure what that is for you, please figure that out. When I say play, it could be anything from, I don't know, going to an arcade to going out in nature, going out in the woods and playing with the fairies. That's what I like to do. I don't know, whatever you're into. Okay. Jump in a ball pit. I don't know. What does play look like to you? That isn't supposed to end when we're an adult, and we're not going to go into a neuroscience lesson, but there's a lot of neuroscience on that. Okay. And hold on a minute. Get another one on this devil card. The death card. And the decision may be to rest. The decision may be to rest. Get the extra rest when you can, okay? Somebody's thoughts are... Oh, Alicia, I'm glad you did that exercise. That's cool. And you're painting, James. I'm so glad to hear that. Those are, forms of play and creative expression too that will trip the mind. Sing a movie, whatever it is for you. There's a lot. These cards feel like a little bit of fear of the future. I mean, that's what this is with the death, the devil, and the sun in reverse. Okay. And with the two of swords, making a fear of the future. Okay. So trip the mind. Okay. Now I'm looking at this card that says it's time to start talking sense. What is that about? Is that really that? I don't feel like that's like you need to get real about yourself with something. I feel like this feels like harsh self-talk. Let's see. Tell me more about this nonsense card. Yeah, this is all thoughts of future projection. Thoughts with slowed down action. Okay, I'm looking at the Chariot in reverse, the Seven of Cups, and the Page of Wands. They're telling me someone is pressuring some of you for an answer. An answer that's a form of commitment, an answer that is about future dealings. But the feeling of the pressure from that has nothing to do with that person. It's an internal pressure. And you can cloak that energy until you want to answer. No one should feel pressured into commitment or answer until they feel like they have all the pieces. And right now, with this Ace of Swords, this Devil card, everything we were looking at, the Death card, right? The Two of Swords in reverse, there's some missing pieces of either information or like it's not aligning with you intuitively. It's not aligning with the intuitive brain. Skywitch says hi, Melanie. Okay. This is heavy. This is heavy. Like heavy in a sense of the energy that in these Alice cards is like it'll make someone want to go into escapism very quickly and just not deal with anything. Also, oh, you watched an Elvira movie today? I love that. You're ready to run for the woods, Jennifer? Is it your energy that I'm feeling? Like that's the feeling that I have, like right here. Like somebody wants to run for the woods. So it's the initial step of doing it that always seems difficult, but literally in like under 2 minutes of being in it, it's not. To get the brain to flip, right? To put the concentration on something else. Also, if you've been recently doing some cord cutting, we're emotional beings, so there will be some emotional ties to that will linger after the cord has been cut. It does not mean that the cord cutting did not work, but it will take some time for those feelings to pass and for that energetic integration to happen. So there's no reason to. I feel like that's what that nonsense card was about. Like I can hear somebody going like, I should be over this already, or why am I feeling like this every day, or why can't I just get X, Y, and Z, or why can't I make up a decision about that? No. And with your spirit guides, with the band, it's not the what, it's the how. It's not about what you choose is sacred, quote unquote, sacrifice. It's how you do it. It's the heart that you show up with. And they have an ace. We know an ace is part of a new beginning. So there's an ace that we're not seeing. That is right in front of our faces, I'm sure. Oh, I've been there a bunch. Hey, Star Daughter. How you doing? Glad you're here. I love that, Alicia. That's fabulous. That's a great way to trip the brain too. You know, it's tripping the brain. We're not suppressing anything here. We're not talking about suppressing feelings. So I like it even more that your coloring book is full of swear words. I think that's fabulous. I used to draw, like when I used to draw a lot of script, like when I used to tattoo, I would love writing like the prettiest, you know, the word fuck, like as beautiful as possible, right? That looked like filigree with like little tails on it. Hi, Lisa. Welcome in. All right. What's going on tonight, y'all? I'm so glad the band was like, get your ass up and go to the theater. Yes, we have told you to rest, but we want you to get up tonight and go. Okay, I'm looking at you can't go back to yesterday, being in the present moment. Okay. Painting the roses red, covering up errors. This is escapism, not errors. I want to be queen, stating your sovereignty, passing a test, and lead the way. Be a leader. Your wisdom will help others. They're telling me is that you hold wisdom. You don't believe that it's wisdom, right? Things of the past that you consider as errors, but it's really an incredible amount of wisdom that will help others. So it's just like a reframing, right? It's a reframing of how we think of things. Because you've passed a lot of tests, baby, in this Earth School. We're going into a time, too, where, like, I feel like the world is going through a time, and they're going to have experiences that a lot of us in the collective have had already. So we're already on the other side of it, and that wisdom is going to be important to help others. All right. Let's see what else they want to say here. All right, you can't go back to yesterday. Being present. What's going on with this? What is the message behind we can't go back to yesterday, please? Oh, synchronicities 44, 27, 33, and 12. I'm looking at the Star in reverse, the Temperance, and the Knight of Wands. This is someone beating themselves up for past mistakes. Is exactly what these cards are. Nothing we can do about that, baby. And how do we know it's a mistake? And this is going to depend on, like, your spiritual beliefs, but, believing that everything is energy and that we have multiple lives, there's no mistakes. That's a completely different timeline. Everyone gets an upgrade when Jimmy Graybeard's hanging out. Everybody. Okay, talk to me about this painting the roses red. I don't know, who's got to get into their mirror magic here? I think somebody's really beating themselves up about the past. Tell me more about this painting the roses red. Page of Cups, Three of Wands, Ten of Cups in reverse. Who's walking around right now saying, I'm fine? I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. when you're not feeling that fine. That's the cover up. That's the cover up. Energy with Lala. You know what fine means. You know what the acronym of fine means. Why? Why are we telling everyone that we're fine? What is the fear here? What is the fear in expressing oneself? 3 of Pentacles in reverse. 7 of Swords in reverse. The Lovers. Okay, what this is telling me is that there's a fear that people will make a decision that you're too much if you're honest about how you're really doing. If you're too much, tell them to go look for something less. Burnout's real, Lala. It's a real thing. No doubt. What are you doing about that burnout, Lala? Are you overcommitting to this 3 of Pentacles here to other people? You know? Because burnout's a lesson too. Burnout's one of the hardest lessons I've ever had. I feel like in this walk this time, I went through some massive burnout. And I don't know. This is personal. This is not coming from the band, but the best thing for me to do during that time was to be by myself, because it's just what I needed to do. But that made a lot of people unhappy, right? Because I stopped. I was always the go-to person. I stopped fulfilling it. I stopped being the genie for a while. I stopped fulfilling everybody's wishes. People didn't like that because they weren't used to me acting like that. But that's exactly what needed to happen at that time. It's part of my healing journey. Yeah, guilt and taking care of everyone. No. Were you here? I don't know when you popped in, Lala. Because towards the beginning there was a channeled message about sacrifice doesn't mean what we think it means. Let's go back and look at that. But yeah, when we go through a season of burnouts, sometimes it will change the dynamics of our relationships, but that's what needs to happen, because no one else can make that call. We can't expect other people to make that call for us. We have to make that call. And really, in the end, it just shows you everybody's true colors. You know? If you say, I got to take care of me for a while, I can't do this, and people get upset, I never get upset for somebody telling me that they need to take care of themselves. They need to handle their own business at the moment. They need to create boundaries, right? So okay. Stating your energetic sovereignty is passing a test. Okay? Number 33, I want to be queen. Owning your energetic sovereignty is passing a big test in Earth School. Tell us what we need to know about this. Strength card. You have the ability to not only build towers, but destroy towers, create towers in your life. Okay. With the Two of Pentacles, balance. Those towers of self-sacrifice are not built on solid foundations. With the Six of Wands, the victory, right? Because we have the victory. We have the victory in the fact that, like, energetic sovereignty means that we have the power. We have the power to build and to destroy towers, beliefs, patterns in our life. This particular deity also says that you have the ability to find witches. Confirmation from Sky. Witch. Oh, I meant to tell you all, I did finally, and thank you, because as I've expressed on here before, this is one of my harder lessons. Sky's reminding me right now because there's treats on it. I did finally make an Amazon wish list and got a P.O. box. And that's why she's telling me, because I also did put Sky's favorite treats on that wish. So for those of you who have been asking me for 9 months, and that's a way that you would like to support this channel, there is a link in the description of this video. She's like, do not forget to tell them. About my beef hides that are on that list. Giz is always scrying like a boss. He's pretty intense tonight too, because he's been pretty quiet. What's going on there? You want to tell us about it? Okay. Now that you know you have the power, you already knew, but I'm just here to remind you, to build and knock down towers, it is time to lead the way. Why? Because you have passed so many tests in claiming your energetic sovereignty in this lifetime that you can help others in many, 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 many ways. Tell me more about this leading the way. Tell me more about the Star Tribe leading the way. Eight of Pentacles, Ace of Swords. Ooh. Who's turning water into wine? Give me another one. I like this. This is energy going towards your truth, okay? There's not a covering up of your truth because there's no errors. And Queen of Swords, Ace of Swords, and Eight of Pentacles. Damn. That is leading in truth with your works. That is a soul that is completely free of shame, guilt, labels, assumptions, fear. Give me another one on this. Tell me more about this Ace of Swords. Tell me more about the Star Tribe's truth. Wheel of Fortune. And the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, and again, all right. This is really strong energy, okay? This Ace of Swords, Eight of Pentacles, and Queen of Swords, okay? This is leading in truth, okay? The Queen of Swords is balanced. The Queen of Swords is full of wisdom, also very emotionally intelligent. She understands sacred union, which is why on the traditional card she has one hand out. But she got that sword in the other hand because she's not scared to let people know her truth. Like maybe when she needs a nap, okay? Or whatever this might look like. But being whatever this truth is going to give us all more the energy, right? Towards this Ace of Pentacles. And we know this is all about our works. This is what we're putting our energy into. Okay. And you have so much wisdom. I've been saying that through this whole reading, and the Queen of Swords and the Ace of Swords came out. So confirmation, I'm not talking out of my ass. You have so much wisdom. All right. And this Wheel of Fortune and this Knight of Pentacles is, again, your band, your spirit team confirming, like, we're coming towards you with what you need. We need a sacred exchange with you because there's no hierarchy here. We're working together. And we want to help you. And they want us to help them too. Hi, Bradley. How's it going? Welcome in. All right. No more fine. Oh, Willow Tree is very spiritual. I haven't seen a willow tree in a while. Hi, Caro. Oh, Sacred Exchange with the Guides, Caro. That's a conversation between you and your guides. That's a conversation between you and your guides. If you watch the beginning of the message, we were talking about the Latin root of sacrifice, which really is to make something sacred, right? So it's an equal give and take. So depending on the guides or the spirits that you work with, they'll let you know. And it's not about the what, it's about the how. Okay, it's about doing it pure of heart, which you will. So there's no wrong answer. There's no wrong answer. Is it just taking 15 minutes to express gratitude? Is it a morning ritual of prayer? Is it, Caro, you need to email me. You need to email me. We need to do I feel like we need to do like an hour session, because you've had a lot of questions. There's, what's the word I'm looking for? There's just and I only know this from experience, which is why I understand your questions. But there are many questions that you've asked me that have a very dogmatic root to them. Okay, so any of us that grew up in Western culture, any culture really, have some kind of dogmatic roots on religion that kind of doesn't allow us to be free. My email it's tarot@morganblacksf.com. It's always in the description of every video too that you click on, if you read the information in the description. Hi, Shan. Welcome in. It's Remembrance Day in the UK. I love poppies. It's one of my favorite flowers. Yeah, please send me an email, Caro. There's something there to work through. Hey, Void Walker. Free as a matter of perspective, yes. Do I take questions? I'm not doing individual reads right now. I'm just doing a collective read. Or do you just have like a question, not like a personal, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, I'm not doing one-on-one reads right now. Tonight I'm just doing a collective read. Okay. Do not drink the poison. Becoming braver. Message from the rabbit. And nature communication. Oh, animals in nature, man. They're always the answer. Flower energies, fairy energies, elemental messages. Service to the animal world. Messages for a rabbit. That might be coming from one of y'all's spirit guides for sure. Talking about sacred service here. This do not drink the poison card is clearly about like just being aware of forms of escapism, right? When we feel this time, that anxiety that I could feel earlier in this reading, those first cards that we pulled, it was all like someone feels like they're racing against time right now, okay? And know that your experiences are there to give you a fresh perspective, not as errors. Nobody's keeping an error book. No one's keeping a right and wrong book, despite what a lot of us were brought up to believe, okay? Not God, not Santa Claus. They're lessons. All right. So, all right. This is like there's like two messages here, okay? There's a message of avoiding escapism, all right, allowing our experiences and our resilience to give us a fresher perspective. And then this is clearly has to do with what we were talking earlier about sacred spaces and a sacred relationship with your band, with your spirits, with the Loa, whoever you speak with. Okay, let's talk about this first. Let's talk about this escapism. Where do you want me to go? Let me stay here? Okay. And you know, like, this is also like, don't be hard on yourself, okay? We all do escapism at times. If anything, this would just be like, be aware of it. Just have the awareness, not like force yourself to not do it kind of thing, or beat yourself up about it, okay? We're trying to get out of those mental loops. But just be aware of it. So the awareness is, if there is something that we're using as escapism, there's a million things. We know that, right? Social media, on and on and on. There's something that we're using as a form of escapism. It's just what's underneath that. What's at the root of it? And that doesn't mean that you have to like completely dismantle that root in that moment. It's just to become aware of it. Yeah. I had a really interesting conversation with a friend yesterday we haven't gotten to speak to in a while, but we were talking about how sometimes healing work is like healing work. People can get obsessed with healing work sometimes. They can get so hard on themselves, right? We've seen it. We've seen it. This is someone that is a very close friend of mine, and we also did a lot of trauma crisis response work together. And like, man, and it's, you know, it's great when we come into that awareness and we know that we want to change things and we want to change our lives, but like some of us can take it to an extreme of unnatural, right? And that's drinking a poison too. So we have to watch out like that. We have to watch out for that. Yes, Void Walker. I agree with you 100%. Healing alone is the hardest. I don't know, Bradley. I don't know. I just had a really, I did a year. I've done so many healing I have to tell you, I've done so many healing modalities over the years. I've done every kind of therapy you can think of, every type of spiritual walk, every type of since a young age. Because I've had an interesting path, to say the least. And I spent a year recently, in the past couple of years, where I literally isolated myself to heal. Like, I went through a dark night of the soul alone, 100% alone. And it was the most profound healing experience that I've ever had. And when I tell you I've done enough psychotherapy to be retired 5 times over, and I'm trained in all of that stuff because of the work that I did for many years. Being by yourself at first isn't easy, right? Especially if you're not used to being by yourself. There was definitely I had to get through that phase of just being okay with being by myself. But man, and this is just personal experience, I got to such a core. I decided I needed to take all outside influence out. I didn't need anyone's opinions, anyone's belief systems, anyone's anything. It was time for me to deconstruct everything about myself. Even the healing modalities that I have advanced education in and learned, I needed to look at all of that. And so that was a choice that I made, and that's extreme. A year is a long time. That's not for everyone, but I went through a really difficult season in life, and for me, that's exactly what I needed. Everyone needs to know what they need. But man, I am pro healing by ourselves. I don't think we value alone time. This world doesn't sell us to value alone time as absolutely valuable as it really is, because of all the distractions we had. So did 1 year ago. Oh, you did 2 Arctum, huh? Yeah. Yeah, right as I was coming out of it, I started this channel. So that was what? 7 months ago, I think. But I was a caretaker for a lot of years, and I was married, and I foster kids and stepkids, and so being alone was not it did not feel natural at first to be completely alone. And when I tell you I was completely alone, I was even getting my groceries delivered. That's how minimum human contact I wanted. I did not want to be around anybody, for a reason though. All right, let me stop talking. Do not drink poison. Okay, we have 7 of Cups in reverse, 6 of Swords, and Ace of Cups. Okay, here again, removing optionalities of the world temporarily. Moving away from them with the 6 of Swords, because there's an Ace of Cups here. Yeah, okay. I don't know, the band member I'm talking to tonight wants me to drive home this message. So I don't know if it's I'm not expressing it properly, or the way that they want it to. I'm not translating it properly, or it's just that important. They keep saying the repeated message over and over again. But that sacred space, the importance of that sacred space, because now there's been 3 aces that have come out in the reading. And it goes back to that anxiety of fighting the clock. That anxiety of fighting the clock, or extensive forms of escapism. We're not in the right perspective to see those things that are right there. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I actually have I've listened to some Abraham Hicks. Man, years when I was a kid, I was crazy about, I listened to so many different people like that, right? Like Alan Watts. Wayne Dyer has always been one of my favorites. I know he's not so much popular anymore. I don't think since he passed. I noticed like a lot of the recordings of him that are on YouTube aren't that great, but yeah, so many wise people. Including you. So yeah, I don't particularly necessarily resonate with a lot of stuff that Hicks says. Yeah, that's just my personal. With a stage. Yeah, sometimes you gotta be careful with spiritualists. No, man. You're not pissing anyone off. This is a free space to talk about that stuff. We should openly be able to talk about ideas. All right. Your experiences. Getting a fresh perspective on your experiences as they have made you wise. The Fool, the 10 of Cups, the Judgment, and the 3 of Wands. I love this. That's where the real self-awareness comes in, okay, with the Judgment card. That fresh perspective is the self-awareness. It's the self-awareness of the lessons. And then what do we do with those lessons, right? What is the action of that? If we're feeling burnout, are we going to keep experiencing burnout? Or are we going to, you know what I mean, create the habit differently, whatever that looks like, right? Advocating for ourselves. Everyone's experiences is different like that. But in making that a fresh perspective, it's like, well, rather than me being burnt out, I'm going to advocate for myself. I'm going to be my best advocate so that I don't get burnt out. I had a lot of really weird beliefs around money for a lot of years. And I still do have some things like I have a hard time receiving. And but like a fresh perspective as I was like working on these beliefs, something that worked for me, something that came to mind. This is just changing perspective, right? I was like, well, I have a child to take care of, meaning me, like my own inner child to take care of. So if that child was physically outside of me, would I make it so hard to receive? Would I be so resistant to receive? Would I overgive as much as I do? Would I self-sacrifice as much as I do or I did, right? If my inner child was standing next to me, no, I wouldn't. So it's just like a shift in perspective, right? So yeah, introspective meditation is very important. So it's the same thing with burnout, same thing with anything like that. Like just Do you do girl math? I totally do girl math. Yeah, I totally do girl math. Yeah, that's funny. But like we were talking about burnout earlier, right? Like no one else is gonna, the world's gonna push us to burn out. No one's gonna advocate for us not to burn out. Not in your job, not in your personal life. Like it's just not gonna happen. It's like waiting for everyone to see how absolutely effing tired I was. And I'm taking care of everything and everybody, and nah. But it was a lesson, right? And that fresh perspective will put us on the Fool's Journey and 10 of Cups, emotional fulfillment, right? The Fool is before the manifestation, right? It's before the Magician card. It's before the manifestation. It is the introspection of the idea, though, and then walking forward with that idea. The idea of, I'm going to broaden my horizon with the 3 of Wands, and I'm going to get a fresh perspective on me and my self-care and how I have sacred relationships with spirit, how I have sacred relationships with the collective, how I have sacred relationships with everyone on earth, which has to be equal give and take, right? To make sacred is equal give and take. And that's going to lead me to my 10 of Cups. So it's just changing that perspective. All right, now I don't know what spirit you're talking to, but they want part of that equal give and take to be to the animal world and to nature communication. So tell us more about this, for this fresh perspective for a Fool's Journey, okay? And, the Fool's Journey is the 0. It's the beginning. That's what Scorpio season is about. We're talking about the death and the rebirth. I just had a picture of a kid playing in a sandbox. That was cool. Hey, but how do we do the follow thing on Go Seer? Has anyone figured that out yet? Yeah, I can't figure it out. I can't figure out how someone was able to follow me. I'm not sure. All right, tell us more about this communication. Picture of a child in the forest. This is all about play. Picture of a child in the forest. Picture of a child in a sandbox. Ace of Swords, the High Priestess, the 3 of Pentacles. This 3 of Pentacles is representing that this nature communication, whether it be animals, nature spirits, your band, okay, the fairies, whoever you commune with, all right, they clearly want to be faithful servants. That's what Orbis is in this deck, okay? And you're showing up as the High Priestess, okay? And as with the Ace of Swords. So if you're not sure what your truth is, when it comes to this, when it comes to nature communication, when it comes to that sacred give and take with spirit in your life, if it's service to the animal world, whatever that looks like for you. If you're not sure, that's just an inside job, to go inside and ask whoever you commune with what kind of communication they want you to have within nature, with them, with yourself, to be in this high priestess mode. High priestess doesn't worry about the life clock. She knows she's eternal. All right. But they want to be your faithful servants, whoever you're working with. It's a sacred union. It's the most sacred of sacred unions. Any final words here? The Hanged Man, the Sun in the upright, and the Knight of Swords. Okay, they're ready to communicate with you. Okay, it's time to go in for that higher perspective. The occult deity of the Hangman, too, is a teacher of natural and planetary sciences. So that might resonate with some of you also. The Hanged Man in this deck is also representative of Hecate. That work is also equal give and take with spirit. This space is going to be your sun. This communication is going to be part of your sun. We know the sun card is what everybody wants. When it comes to tarot, it's the happiest card in the deck. This time, these times, and getting out of the loop of the thoughts, of the obsessive thoughts, taking that time, even though when you think you don't have time to take that time, is actually when you're going to be able to envision the future that you may fear at this time. Voidwalker, the best book to learn how to read tarot. I would say I would get the Rider-Waite tarot. Okay. Do you have this tarot deck? Do you know what I mean? The Rider-Waite tarot. There's an extensive, there's like not like the little pamphlet, but you can get a book on the Rider tarot deck. So there's, like, when I teach tarot, it's kind of like in 3 phases, right? Like it's good to get like down the basic definitions of all of these cards, meaning the suit, what's in the suit, what's in the higher arcana, what's in the court cards, stuff like that. Having a basic overview of that, because that is foundational to every tarot deck you will use. And then secondly, I like to go a little more extensive. Like the next thing would be specifically about the art. Okay. Like all of these all have clear definitions, but there's also extended information about these particular art pieces and every little symbol within the art. Okay. And then third from there is intuitive interpretation of art of any deck. But are you doing tarot at all, Voidwalker? Like, do you have one of these decks, this Rider-Waite tarot deck? Yes, you do have this deck. And so did it just come with like that little pamphlet? I think is it Holistic Tarot? That's a great book. It is thick like a textbook though. You're right. There's also another book called The Living Tarot. I can't think of who it's by, but I like her style because she talks about this exercise of like, and I've done this with a few people that I've taught how to read tarot, like picking a card a day. Okay. Like a two of swords, right? A two of swords is about making a decision. And it's about like taking off the veil to make the decision, right? Getting rid of the optionality, getting rid of anything that might be fogging the decision. She has that cover over her eyes, but she could easily put her swords down and take it off, right? So it's getting clear vision to make a decision. And then carrying this card around with you all day. Like this is your card of the day kind of thing. And finding those spaces during your day where you have to make a decision, or maybe you have to remove optionality to make that decision, or saying to yourself, what is the other information I need to collect to make a clear decision where I don't feel like I'm making a blind decision? Because it's then because tarot is all about the journey of life, right? It's the archetypes and journey of life. So then it's like you're applying those practical things in your day to deeper understand the definition of the card. Does that make sense? It's a slow burn way to learn tarot cards, but it's something you can do your whole tarot journey. I mean, even if you're doing tarot for 15 years, I'm so into tarot. I see things in the world as tarot all the time. But also too, once you do have those like basic foundational things down, know that a lot of it if it's intuitive, I mean, right? It's an exercise in your intuition, or if you're a channeler, a medium. There are things that sometimes, like especially with oracle decks, with me, sometimes it will be what the message is on the deck, but other times, if I'm channeling, they'll talk to me about this artwork, which might actually not be what this says. And I have to go with that. Me personally, I always go with what's being channeled to me first. What I don't get is how something red can be specific. What I don't get is how something red can be specific. I think the answer to your question with that, Jennifer, is not understanding how something red can be so specific is that goes to channeling, right? Especially when I do one-on-one readings. When I'm doing one-on-one, this is nothing more than a guidebook. I could, in a sense, do a reading for someone without these, but I'm also very visual, and it's one of my clairs. So I hear what they see in the cards. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's definitely, yeah, all about channeling. I mean, I could straight do a tarot reading just based off of like the definition of each card, right? Like what it means upright and what it means reversed. But if I'm channeling, which would kind of be the point to me, more the point. Hi, Mark. How's it going? Welcome in. Does that make sense, Jennifer? That's a hard one because that's like I feel like that's kind of like trying to explain divinity. So it's funny because I can be really technical about a lot of things in life. My spirituality is one that I'm not so much technical with. Like, I feel like it needs to be that way for me because if not, I would get too caught up in my head. My guides made me do it. Yeah, James. My guides made me do it. I like that. Then you should listen to your guides, Rose. Fine. I like that. I think reading cards intuitively, Goddess, is just as important as knowing the definitions. Because tarot, at the end of the day, is a exercise in intuition. I believe, especially if you're watching a reading from someone, right? Like, it's really, that's kind of the point. That's part of the point of it. I think it's the most important point of it. So it is an exercise in intuition and flexing that intuition muscle. It's using that heart brain instead of that head brain. Did you know your heart's a brain? And so isn't your stomach. That's why they call it a gut feeling. So I hate when I shouldn't have these long silent pauses on videos, but I like want to read the chat. So I want to be part of the conversation with you all. Telepathy is a gift I wish I didn't have sometimes, Scorpio Zen. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for all the ways I can communicate. But sometimes, if there's one that I'd be like, be okay without that one, it would be telepathy. Your heart gets your brain in trouble? They need to work on their relationship then. I get that though, Bradley. I get that. Okay. You have a hard time remembering to close someone's energy, Jennifer. Is there a visualization maybe? Because you're very visual. You have very strong visual senses. Like a quick visual you could do. Or maybe I read that wrong. Maybe you already do that. Maybe it's just the remembering to do it after you step away. That's telepathy, Caro. It's discernment. Can also be telepathy. Yeah, I got that same thing, Bradley. I have a love-hate relationship with it. Yeah, Jennifer, I think visual does hit hard with you, which is pretty cool. I don't know. So what is the answer to this? Like, do we do this on Zoom once a month or something for my own selfish reasons? So I can actually hear your voices and feel like we're having a conversation rather than a type chat that I sit here for 30 minutes on the video and stare at. Because I'm so fascinated by all of you. That would be fun, right? Scream Stress. I have a Zoom, like I have a business Zoom account. I think you can easily have 100 people in it. Potluck. Yes. We could do a potluck. Do some cheese and wine. We could have dinner together, whatever. That sounds chaotic. Well, there has to be, I mean, I teach classes and stuff on those. Like there has to be like, there's a moderator and there's a way for like so everybody's talking at once. Yeah, I would like that too, Jennifer D. A Friendsgiving. That's a really good idea. Yeah, I'm actually going to put something up about that on the community page. See if people will be available for that. I will. I'm doing a Friendsgiving, but it's not on Thanksgiving. So, I don't know. We'll have to figure out what would be the best time for everybody. Because Melanie, you're in Australia, right? Not everyone's US here, so. Oh, you don't have to commit, Jen. Just RSVP so that you have the link so that if by chance you can make it and aren't in the middle of the move scramble. I'm going to be doing that soon too. I'm starting to look for another place. Oh, James, is that a channel that you learn tarot from that teaches tarot? That has some good information? That's a great visualization, Scorpio Zen, for that. I like that. It's a great suggestion. It's free, Sai, and you can keep your screen blacked out. You can customize it however you want. But it's just a video. It's a video chat app, like video calls for meetings and stuff. I use it for work stuff because it has better security than like Google Meetups. Well, not, I don't know about if I'd say better security, but Google ends up with all your data. Jennifer, I'm looking for that in every picture that I look at. I'm looking for exactly that, Jennifer. I'm I'm on brain lock about that. And trying to find the new apartment. Yeah, I should do a little more research on Discord, about Discord. Platforms for tarot. Video platforms outside of YouTube. Discord. Do you mean to do private readings, Sai, or to do like collective readings for subscribers? Public. Yeah. Do Discord. I'm not the one to ask. I'm sure there are other people in this chat that would have much more knowledge for you. I'm still figuring all this out as I go. Okay, y'all, I am going to take 5 and then work on getting a collective message up for the morning. Hey, Shoni, how's it going? We're so glad you're here. Welcome in. You're so welcome, Scream Stress. To everyone, it's always good to hang out with you all. I hope whoever that resonated with, I could feel that a lot of anxiety at the beginning of that reading. That's why they told me to get my ass up and go to the theater. Okay? But hang out with your spirits to not feel that anxiety of the time. Oh, all the joys of being human. Sweet dreams, everyone. And I will see you for your collective reading tomorrow. Have a great night.